Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Going to give you a very thorough overview of the article here. Perhaps I'll read through certain parts of it. There's a link in the description. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Perhaps even consider joining the memberships. This is in regards to yet again, another family-based murder-suicide. This time it occurred in Florida on Tuesday evening. We don't know the victims' names. We don't know the perpetrators' names. So all of that information has been withheld. But I'm going to tell you everything that we do know. And that is that the mother came home from work. She spoke with the babysitter. She paid the babysitter. She escorted the babysitter outside of the home, with the daughter by the mother's side. So being nice and polite. Thank you very much for looking after the 5-year-old daughter. Have a nice little chat. And then, saying their goodbyes outside of the home. All of a sudden, a crazed, lunatic, psychopathic male who is the husband, who is the father. We don't know his name, but he is the mother's husband, the father of the 5-year-old girl, starts running towards the mother and the daughter and starts firing rounds. The babysitter is able to escape. We don't know exactly. She seems to have been a little bit of a distance away. The mother collapses on the spot. She does receive medical attention by deputies that arrive shortly thereafter. However, she is declared deceased at the scene. The mother dies. The father runs into the house with the 5-year-old daughter. Deputies arrive due to the babysitter calling 911. Deputies arrive, and a little bit oddly, I'll say, the 5-year-old girl came outside whilst medics were attending to the mother. The 5-year-old girl came outside. She says to the deputies, "My daddy's upstairs. He's in the master bedroom, and I heard a big bang." The little girl, 5-year-old girl, didn't realize that she had a gunshot wound to her arm. So she was given medical treatment at the time, and she continued to give more information to the officers while she was receiving treatment. Further to that, the 5-year-old girl was taken to the hospital for further treatment. We're told that she's expected to recover from her wound. So we are told that she did suffer a gunshot wound to her arm, but she didn't even notice that she had been shot or perhaps grazed by the gunshot. So hopefully it's not a severe injury, and certainly we're told that she's expected to recover from the wound. So there's the real blessing there, that the 5-year-old girl suffered a gunshot wound, but she is going to fully recover from that. The deputies went inside the house. I'm going to say thankfully, you may disagree with this sentiment, but I'm going to say thankfully the father was found dead from a gunshot wound. Self-inflicted. The scumbag father that had just shot at both the mother and the daughter whilst they were together. The psychopathic father that had murdered the mother of his 5-year-old girl, thankfully, in my point of view, killed himself. So to me, that's a blessing. You may disagree. A lot of you guys would prefer that such psychopathic, evil scumbags face the judicial system and get sentenced to life in prison or decades in prison, and with that suffer, hopefully with fellow inmates passing on their feelings on the subject of him shooting towards his own daughter. But my preference is that scumbags like this, scum like this, is eradicated from the earth. And if they choose to do it of their own free will, all well and good. I have no objections to that personally. We've got a little bit more information, and that is that the mother had done the right thing. The mother had issued or called for, which was subsequently issued, a protective order against her husband. Now that follows a domestic violence incident in which the father was, or the husband was, arrested in August. So seemingly the mother had realized that it was no good for her to maintain a relationship with the husband, that she must separate for her own safety and the safety of her 5-year-old daughter. Now, I don't know if there are any other children involved, that we're not informed of that, but she did the right thing. The mother did the right thing. She walked away. She got the law involved to help her protect herself and her child. A protective order was issued following the husband's arrest in August on domestic violence charges. She did the right thing, but unfortunately, that protective order ultimately failed to protect the mother and the child. The protective order ultimately failed. And I don't really know what to make of that. I don't really know what to think of that. I mean, I don't suppose there's too much that can be said in regards to that. The law can only do so much. Citizens can only do so much to protect themselves. And ultimately, a psychopath is going to be a psychopath. And if they are hell-bent in harming or murdering, then there's little that can be done to protect against that. I guess we could go down the Second Amendment argument. That this would be another example of whereby if somebody was allowed to have a gun, if the mother had a gun on their possession, she'd be in a better position to be able to defend herself. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to go too deep on that. I do welcome your comments though. The article lets us know that the child is with the grandparents. So there we go. But that's all the information that we have. The names have not been released at this point in time by the authorities. We're not aware of any GoFundMe. If that does become known, I'm more than happy to make a note in the comment section. If you guys are aware of an appropriate GoFundMe, drop a note in the comment section. I'll be happy to pin it or what have you. Of course, full condolences to the families concerned, the extended family of both the mother and the father. It's absolutely destroyed everybody involved. Thankfully, here's another blessing. Thankfully, the grandparents are there and the grandparents are doing the right thing. They are, I'm sure, more than happy, absolutely delighted to be able to be support for the 5-year-old girl to make sure that she doesn't suffer too much from this horrendous situation. Both her parents taken away. Both of them killed at the hands of the psychopathic father. So this is going to be extremely traumatic, one would imagine, for the 5-year-old girl. She was there. She was there at the scene. She was shot, or she suffered a gunshot wound. She was side by side when her mother was shot and killed by the father. It seems that she was with her father moments before his death. Maybe he killed himself in front of the 5-year-old girl. I mean, if the more I think about it, the more I realize how dreadfully traumatic this is going to be for the 5-year-old girl. She witnessed way too much. So the grandparents, thank you very much for stepping in, and I hope that I'm sure that all of the other family members will do their absolute utmost to protect this 5-year-old girl in every sense, to give her all of the support, mental, psychological, emotional, financial support, everything that she'll need to be able to cope with these utter tragedies. That's pretty much all I can say. I'm going to be making a few more videos this evening. So please do check one or two more out. But other than that, I'm going to thank you for your time. Take care.